Alright, so for today's video, I think it's a really important one. I want to talk about the concept of CAGED, which is essentially just 5 of the most important first position chords. Now, just bear in mind, I'm talking to you from a self-taught perspective and what I've learned along the way. And so some of this might not be exactly technically the best way to do it, but it's just the way I do it. So I hope this helps. And so the first thing I want to do is go through each of the major chord shapes, which is C chord, A chord, G chord, E chord, and a D chord, and then just show you how they can translate up and down the neck. The first thing I'm going to do is show you the triads. Here's the C major triad, and I have a camera here. I'm going to try and get it in the camera too, so here we go. There's a C major triad that is made up of a C, an E, and a G note. Make sense? C, E, G. Same thing can apply to the piano. You go C, E, G, and that's a C major triad. The next one is an A major triad. For a lot of people, this is hard to pack all your fingers in like this. So for many people, they will bar them like this. They'll kind of lay their finger down, a little half bar. I like playing it like this, and I mute that middle one. And then sometimes I'll also just play it like this and leave these other ones open. It forms what's called, I think, an A2 chord. But to me, it works for everything that I use it for. But if you want to get that major, fully major sound, it's these 3 notes. And that A chord is an A, a C sharp, and an E. Cool. The next chord is a G major. That's made up of a G, a B, and a D. And I play mine like this. You can take this one off. And that's technically with the B on the bottom there. The next one is an E major, which the first position chord is like this. It's an E, a G sharp, and a B. A lot of people will play it also like this because when they start barring, they like to have that finger available. Like that. Last and final chord is the D major triad, which is this. It's made up of a D, an F sharp, and an A. Okay? The next part of this video is showing you how, if you understand those 5 shapes, then you can start barring chords using that exact same shape of your finger. And I'll explain what I mean by this. Let's just start with the E major, because to me it's one of the easiest ones to understand. It's probably chords that you already play and you just don't know you're doing it anyway. You take the E major, and that is an E major chord. If you look at the piano, you find the E. You look to the right of the first 2 black keys, and that's the E right there. That's an E note. Okay? If you move it up just 1 fret on the guitar, like this, and you bar it like this, you are now playing an F major chord. F major triad sounds like this. And you're shifting all of those notes up as well. So instead of being here, you're now here. Okay? You keep going. Then you form an F sharp, which is that black key right here. Okay? You go again. That's a G major. On the E chord, I'll call it the E shape. Okay? G major chord using the E shape right here. You go up again. That is now G sharp. Okay? You go again. It's an A. Just like on the piano, you're just following the notes like on the piano. So you got E is the open, because this is an open string. Then you go F, F sharp major, G major, G sharp major, A major, B B flat major, B major, and then C right here. You keep going, C sharp major. You go again, D sharp major, and then here we are, D sharp. Right at the end of D sharp is E right after that. If many of you don't know this, you might already know this, but this double dot signifies that the neck and the notes repeat. So when you see these dots that are up here, these ones, they are just like these ones. So if you play a G here, it's an octave. Okay, so when we play the E here, it's an octave up. Okay, that's just the E shape. That's one of my favorite ones. Let's go to the C shape. If you want to get the triad up the neck and to not sound dissonant, you can't just strum the whole chord. You have to form the triad and mute that string. So just go like this. Okay? Next you go up, it's like this. Okay? You can play it like this if that might be helpful. Okay, remember this one was open when I was down here. So if you move it up here, you kind of have to move your fingers a little bit. Now guess what that is? That's a C sharp major triad. You go again, that's a D major triad, but in the C configuration. You go again, D sharp. You go again, E. You go again, F. You go again, F sharp. You go again, G. Okay, you go again, G sharp, A, B, A sharp, then B. You keep going. What I'm saying is, basically, you take that shape and you keep moving it. It's still a major chord. It's just you shift up the neck and you bring up a half step. Every single chord that you're playing now changes the chord itself. Let's move on to A. For this purpose, I'm going to use this configuration because it's easier to bar. There's my A major. Really, this is the correct way, but I like going like this. Just helps. Okay, if we go up a half step, that's now B flat, just like on the piano. A, B flat, and then a B. Between the B and the C, there's just a half step, so it goes from B major to C major. Then you go C sharp major. Then you go D. You go D sharp. Then you go E. Then you go F. Then you go F sharp. Then you go G. G sharp, and so on, okay? You take the G shape, it's gonna be this. Okay, so we're gonna have to move that just along like we did with the C shape. Okay, let's move it a half step. We'll move our fingers like this. Move it again. Okay, same thing applies. Did we hit all of them? D. We're last on the D. Here's the D major triad. We move a half step. Half step up. This is now an E. Half step up is an F. Then F sharp. Then G. Then G sharp. A. A sharp. B. C. So the cool thing about all of this is that essentially you can find any chord anywhere. It just takes knowing the first position and then keep going until you find it. If you keep going E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A, B flat, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, then E. If you go on a piano, it will literally, it repeats C, D, E, F, G, A, B. Then again, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. All those black keys are the half step markers. Make sure you keep a lookout for the next video and we'll see you there.